want to talk for a few minutes about the final research proposal. What you see in front of you is a sample of what a research proposal might look like when you might be finished with it. This is from a student a year or two ago who completed this class with a good grade. It's not the perfect research proposal, but it's a very good example. And so you can see every research proposal is going to start in APA format with a title page that looks something like this. The next page in a research proposal includes an abstract, which I urge you to write as the very last part of your paper. Don't even think about it until you've finished everything in your paper, and then go back and see how to summarize it. So save that abstract as the last piece. But here's where the paper gets started on page 3. Notice the page number is available for you on the top right because that's APA format. Notice that everything is in the same font, the same style. In this case, this particular paper has a running header or a running head up the top left, cell phones and grades. That's not necessary in your paper. You can have one or not. The reason it's flexible is because in APA version 6 that your book talks about, the running head was required. In APA 7 that is now at work, then we don't use the running head for student papers, so you can go either way. I won't take off whether you have one or not. But you can see this paper on page 3 just starts in. This is what hopefully is a literature review that also introduces the topic in the first paragraph, sets up why this is important or interesting, moves through the literature review. In this case, it's a couple of pages of literature review. And at the end of the literature review, you can see the last paragraph of the literature review portion of the paper, we call it the introduction now, is a setup of what the variables will be in this particular study. So the hypothesis will be stated in this last paragraph. After that, it's time to jump into the methods. The methods begin with a participants section that describes who your sample is, how you will find them, and often includes something about the ethics involved in sampling. And you can see that, for example, they say participants will be confidential. That's the names of the participants will be confidential or will remain anonymous. So you can see that highlighted. The procedures are exactly what will happen, including what kinds of measures that will be used. And then the very end of the paper, you can see this is the last bit of the paper, is an expected results and discussion section. And this is new. You haven't done the expected results and discussion. Of course, you're not gathering any data. You only can imagine what you might find. And so the first paragraph here says what is expected. What we expect to find is typically we suspect to support our research hypothesis. So you can kind of restate that as an expected result. And then the discussion part is usually something about limitations or where studies should go next. And so there's a paragraph here. Of course, after a page break, references always starting on their own page. You can see the references are provided, and that's the end of the research proposal. So this particular research proposal is available in your course resources folder for you to look at as many times as you want to get an idea of what different sections might look like or what a research proposal could look like when it's finished. This file is also available in your course resources folder and also at the assignment link itself. And this is a grading rubric that will be used for your final paper. And you can see that these first sections are all about that introductory literature review part of the paper. You'll recognize that as very similar to the same sorts of ideas that we're looking for in your first paper. The methods are critical and key and are listed here. APA citation style is also part of the grade. And finally, the second page has quite a bit on the format of the paper now in terms of APA format, meaning the page numbering and the title page and an abstract. And also the language and writing, which hopefully you've been able to work on with some of the thoughts I've provided from your first paper, and if you need help looking for other resources like through writing tutors and such. So these files are available to you in your course resources folder. Again, you have the the research proposal grading rubric, you have a sample paper, you also have some Microsoft Word documents that you can use if you want to start typing in a paper that's already sort of got that format. So be sure to go to the course resources folder, look for the folder about your research proposal assignment, and I hope those resources are real helpful for you.